Good afternoon, everybody. Abid here from Chutney Cam for our third episode. The first two episodes were absolutely amazing. We had Omar from HR Solutions, and we had Cameron Salim from MotorServe UK, the home of the £15 MOT. Today we have Mr. Des Richards from the Alliance Advisory Services. Now, this chap I came across a couple of weeks ago. Popped in to see me and we had a conversation, and I absolutely loved what he does. He's in a similar industry to myself, whereas I do commercial insurance and he does life insurance. But I thought it'd be interesting just to give people an insight as to what life insurance is all about and what critical illness cover and all these things cover, because I think there's a stigma attached out there that people don't really understand the concepts of life insurance and tend to keep away from them, but they are very valuable. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Des Richards. Des, how are you, sir?
Nice to meet you again,
and
sir.
Yourself, mate. Thank you. I'm loving the tie.
You know what?
You know what? That's a chutney and chat colour, and I think it's colour coordinated it very well today to match with my chutney banner. So, thumbs up when you see the video just for his tie. Forget everything else. So how are you, Des?
No, fantastic. Look, Abid, first of all, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity today, because as you rightly says, we came across each other last week, and I was honoured to be invited to the Chutney meeting.
Thank you.
Which took place over at in Moseley.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that I've actually been to one of these events. And when I went there and I seen the amount of people that was there, I was just taken back.
Brilliant.
And the amount of networking that was able to be done, I thought that was absolutely fantastic. So once again, I'm going to thank you for that.
Thank you, thank you. And thank you for coming. You know what, it's people like you that make it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
So thank you. So, your business, what do you do?
Right, what I do is I help people to protect the assets, to protect the things that they really care about.
Okay.
So we do life insurance. Big difference between insurance and assurance. Insurance is something that we know that may happen. So we insure our vehicles, or we get public liability. Now, we may never have a cause to claim on that, but in the event that we do, you know that you have the reassurance that it's there.
Yeah.
With life assurance, we know that it's going to happen.
Yes.
You and I
It's
share one thing in common. Yeah, we're going to die.
It's inevitable.
We're going to die. So that's the reason why people then look at putting these kind of protection in place.
Okay. So, I've been in insurance now for many years, and I don't do life insurance because there's just too much paperwork involved. We come across people all the time when we insure their assets. We do ask them the question, have you got life insurance? So could you just explain what the benefits of having a life insurance policy would be?
Yes, certainly. Well, if you have a family, or you have a business, what life insurance does, if you've got anyone who's relying on your income, in the event of your death, then it's a promise to make sure that your family will be taken care of, or your business will be able to continue.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. It's just a piece of paper that promises to carry out your wishes, to make sure that your family haven't got to go with a begging bowl, you know, to be able to just survive in life.
Yeah. Have you got any example of?
Yeah, I've got one of the examples that that I tend to use was I came across a company over in Lincoln, and it was two partners, a joinery company and a plumbing company. And what actually happened was one had insurance, and I was looking to do business protection. They decided the one was a little bit negative. He thought, well, it's not really worth the paper it's written on. I'm not going to bother with it. And the one was all up for it. Now, fast forward, because I didn't get the business on the day, I then contacted that company nearly a year later, just to find out what was happening, just to follow through to see whether or not we can have another conversation. And the company had closed.
Okay.
But I still had the mobile number, so I rang the chap, the carpenter side of it, because the plumber, and the carpenter told me that his partner had died. He died on the job. Now, when I went there, he was very negative. As I said, he didn't want to know anything about insurance. However, he had liabilities.
Yeah.
So he had a mortgage. He had a daughter. So he had a £400,000 mortgage.
Okay.
He had a daughter who was in a private school.
Okay.
His wife didn't have to work.
Yeah.
And when he died, everything changed. Now, having life insurance doesn't necessarily say that we can stop the death or stop you from having a critical illness, but what it does,
it's making sure that the loved ones or the business is looked after
protected
after you go.
Yeah, and that's what happened. But unfortunately, in this case, His partner says to me that they had to close down the partnership
Mm-hmm.
because there's nothing in place. His wife needed the money. There was no money there for her.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have had to move houses. Daughter would have had to come out of private school.
Okay.
So all around, it wasn't a very pretty picture.
Mm. And as well as life insurance, what other products are associated to it?
Right, well, critical illness.
Yes.
One thing that we all realise now is that we're living a lot longer, yeah? But we're also living a lot sicker.
Yes.
So there's a lot of critical illness. We know someone who's got cancer. We know someone who's been touched by diabetes and everything like that. So now, what you can do with life insurance, because most people think it's just for when you die, but it isn't. Life insurance is the critical illness side of it. Is where you can actually protect against critical illness. So if you suffer cancer,
Yeah.
at least you know that it allows you to have dignity. You can actually go straight into hospital where you need to get the treatment, but
Okay.
you'll have the funds to be able to do that. You can go back to work or to continue with your business right when you're ready to, not because you have to, but you have a lump sum that will help you through that period. We also have income protection, because one of the things that a lot of people don't realise is that at the base of anything, if you don't have any income,
Yes.
you have nothing.
True.
So when I
Well-
speak to companies out there or individuals, I really look at it in a holistic kind of way. You know, we look at your life, we look at critical illness, and we look at income protection, and that's how we tend to do that. But we also want to make sure that it's affordable. A lot of people are out there.
I was going to come on to the affordability of it
Yeah.
next. I think people think it could be very expensive. Life cover, critical cover, and all these optional add-ons and extras, all obviously would attract a premium. So I know you can't give examples, but for example, myself, 42 years old. Yes, 42, still young. 42. Don't tell everybody. 42 years old. What kind of covers and what kind of cost implications? Myself, I run my own business, relatively healthy, still looking like I'm 18, feel like I'm 18, roughly, as a rough indication.
Right, you see, good question.
It gets a bit complicated.
Yeah, but very difficult to answer that.
Yeah.
Everyone is totally different.
Yeah.
So what we have to do, I mean, I don't just wave a magic wand and then say, Abid, this is what it's going to cost you. What I do is I sit down with my client.
Mm-hmm.
And once I sit down and I try and understand where you have that weakness, where you have that pressure that you need to be able to make sure you protect, because it's no point in me saying, well, go for critical illness if you can't get critical illness. It's no point in me saying to go for
And on critical illness, does it cover any existing conditions?
No.
It doesn't.
No, let's be certain on that. That's where a lot of mistakes are made. So many people go out there and they'll try and just sell a policy, and then you'll hear the horror stories where people don't get paid and they say, well, it's not worth the paper it's written on. It's because the advisor didn't do his job in the first instance. You need to really make sure you understand their need and see whether or not they can qualify for it. And that's what we try and do. We look at it. We see how old you are, whether or not you're a smoker, your weight, all these things are critical.
Do you check medical records?
In some cases. Now, the reason why I'm going to say that, because if you're young, like 42, probably a non-smoker, looking as good as you do, that's the point. Now, if you're as young as that, then in some cases you'll find no, they won't check.
Okay.
They'll just go through and you do a declaration. But be mindful, because if you don't declare at the point of incept, then what you'll find is that they won't pay.
Okay.
And that's what I always do. So I always say to be honest as you can. Be as honest and clear as possible.
Right, so you've got life insurance, you've got critical cover, you've got business protection, you've got what other products are there associated?
Right, you have insurance, and insurance is split into two, because most people will might have heard of term assurance.
Yes.
Now, term insurance is exactly what it says. It works over a term. So if you're looking for a period of like 10 years, between 1 and 20 years, then that's fine. Now, if you die or suffer with a critical illness during that period, you get paid out, or your family will. Now, with whole of life, and that's exactly what it is, whole of life will cover you for the whole of your life, providing you continue paying that premium. Now, this can be used for inheritance tax. Now, the threshold is £325,000. Now, if you go over that, 40% of whatever you've built up,
Gone.
right, is gone just
Yes.
like that. So this is where I'm not a tax expert, so I won't try and say to you I'm a tax expert. You need to speak to the tax experts about that. But certainly, in terms of putting a plan into place to protect against that, then that's where you're going to find it's going to be totally advantageous. The other thing that I'm going to also say is be mindful of where people go and get their insurance from, because there are people now that they surf the internet and they see a price and they just run along with that price. But what are you actually buying? What are you actually getting?
Yeah. I think these sort of products, you need that personal touch.
Yeah.
You need a person you can touch and feel, and discuss, because they can be rather intimate matters, personal matters, particularly life insurance and critical illness. You know, I'd advise everybody. So as I was saying, I mean, any insurance products, right? We all hear horror stories about certain websites for car insurance, for home insurance. Insurance is such a matter that, you know, you always need that personal touch to it, particularly when it's life insurance or any of the products that you do. So why should they come to you? Why should the Chutney Cam audience, the Chutney and Chat family, who I feel very strongly about, the whole Pathway to Grow family, Coffee and Nat, Small Society, why should they come to you?
Well, you talk about confidentiality. We offer a confidential service. We're also regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority, so I think that's quite important. When you go online and speak to people, you haven't got that protection.
Yeah.
So you can go, you might be able to get a quote, but they're not allowed to advise you. Yeah. Now, you have a course of redress. If I give you information that is not right for you, you can always go back and make a complaint.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for as well is to build partnerships. We're not just looking to sell a policy. You know, we're looking for a long-term relationship. So from cradle to grave, where I will look after your interests all the way through. Okay. And as you grow, I will grow with you, vice versa.
Now, the key question for the Chutney and Chat members, for all our viewers who are very exclusive, as you've seen, what do you offer them? What's different?
Right. What I
consultation, a meeting,
Yeah, I look. I'm totally flexible, so I will work. When you're running a business, it's quite important, yeah, and you need to be there. So I will work whenever you need me to. So if you say to me, Des, I can only see you at 6 o'clock in the morning, then I'm available 6 o'clock in the morning. If it's at 7 and 8 o'clock at night, then I'm available at 7 and 8 o'clock in the night. Remember, you're the key person as far as I'm concerned. So I tend to work around my clients, and that level of service is where a lot of people don't offer. My phone is on 24 hours a day, and that's the difference. You know, nothing pleases me more when I've recently had a claim where a young lady, she had breast cancer. She forgot that she had a critical illness part of the policy on there. And when it came about, I said to her, well, initially you might not get that level of cover simply because it's, and I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but that company did not cover a lumpectomy, just mastectomies. So what basically happened from there was she eventually had to have a double mastectomy. On that point, she got paid out.
Okay.
Now, she didn't remember that she had critical illness in place. That was able to pay off her mortgage. She was able to go back. She's a school teacher. She was able to go back to school to teach when she was ready to go back. And that, to me, is what it's about.
These are the things that count. I mean, when you're when you're under such stress and somebody in your family gets ill or you get ill yourself, work is sometimes the last thing on your mind.
Yeah.
But who's going to pay the mortgage?
Who's going to pay the mortgage?
Who's going to pay the bills? Who's going to pay for the school dinners? So you know, it is. I think it's essential and something that people do need to start taking seriously. So for the Chutney and Chat members, Des is offering a free consultation.
Yeah.
No obligation. No hard selling.
No.
Just a simple chinwag over a coffee at his expense. So you know what? So you know what?
Happy that to put that in there, didn't he?
It can't hurt or harm anybody just to have a quick chat with him. So, anything else you'd like to say?
No, I'd like to once again thank you for inviting me here today.
Thank you for coming. It's an absolute pleasure, and I love the tie. I really do like that tie. It's bang. You know what? It matches. Look, you've got orange and you've got grey, which is our
Isn't that right?
brand colours.
Homework. I made sure I did my homework before I came.
See that? That's it. Right, people, that's the end of our Chutney Cam episode 3. We had the great Des Richard with us today from Allianz Advisory Services. If you want to get your business showcased and you want to appear on Chutney Cam, drop me a text or a line. The link will be beneath this video or above this video. If you want to speak to somebody about your critical illness, your life insurance, your protection, your business protection, Des is your man. We don't allow any old business to come on to Chutney Cam. We do our due diligences. However, we accept no responsibility. We would strongly advise that you do your own due diligence. But meet somebody, have a coffee, have a chinwag, see how you feel, and take it from there. So this is Abby signing out for the 3rd episode of Chutney Cam. My next guest, what can I say? What can I say? Keep your eyes peeled. I'll be appearing on your Facebook feed very soon. Des, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.